We went from 8 teams, then to 4 in the semifinals yesterday, and now it is down to 2. The winner will punch their ticket to the World Cup qualifiers in March 2026. Today, from the Kigali Arena in Rwanda, it is Senegal facing Hungary. This is Aaron Sanders, glad to be on the call. And we welcome each and every one of you who are tuning in on the FIBA YouTube network. This is a tale between 2 teams in Group C that have been fighting for the top spot. But they have met before. They have met in the first game of group phase, in which Hungary was stunned 63-61 in the hands of Senegal. But since then, it's been a similar tale for both of these teams. Hungary has gone undefeated since that heartbreaker on the 19th. Went through the Philippines, Brazil, and took care of business against Great Britain in the semifinals by the score of 82-59. Now, Hungary was ranked number 1 in the power rankings prior to this tournament. They ended up second in Group C with a 2-1 record. And for Senegal, it has been taking care of business for them, as they were ranked 3rd in the power rankings, and they are led by Dioma Khan, who's 4th best scorer in the pre-qualifiers with 16.3 points per game and 10th in rebounds with 6.8. They took care of business against Hungary, like I said, then beat Brazil, the Philippines, and had a classic against Rwanda for the right to be in this scenario. They defeated Rwanda in the semifinals by the score of 68-65. These 2 teams have made the World Cup before. The last time Hungary made it was back in 1998, where they placed 10th place. And Senegal, it has been 6 years since they've made the World Cup, where they placed 12th, their second best finish, tying their appearance back in 1979. You see Senegal's roster being introduced. Once again, a huge moment. It all started on Monday with 8 teams, 4 teams each in Group C and D. The top 2 teams crossing over to meet in a semifinals matchup yesterday. Hungary topping Great Britain and Senegal defeating Rwanda. Now the national anthems from both of these teams will come back for the final game in the Women's World Cup pre-qualifiers. in less than 2 years' time. They have to overcome one additional hurdle in order to make it to the big show in Germany in 2026. Senegal has went through this whole gauntlet undefeated. Hungary only one loss to their name here in the pre-qualifiers. Your officials, first off from Madrid, Jan Vezel Davison. From Australia, Nicolas Fernandez. And from Poland, we have Paulina Gajoj. Senegal and Hungary, not so different from each other in the stats. We'll get to that in one moment, but first, here are your lineups. First for Hungary, Deborah Dubai, along with Agnes Studer, Agnes Torok, Reka Lelik, and Bernadette Hutar. But the key player to watch out of this starting lineup would be Reka Lelik, who averages 12.3 points per game and is 6th in assists per game, averaging 5.5. As we take a look at the head coach, Peter Volji. Again, Hungary has not made the World Cup since 1998. Their best finish was 5th back in 1957. The usual 5 for Senegal has Sierra Dillard starting in the backcourt, along with Dioma Khan, Yassine Diop, who had a strong game yesterday with 15 points and 5 rebounds, and she will be helped with Fatou Poy and Fatou Diang. Otis Hughley Jr. said that this matchup will not be an easy one, considering that these two teams met on the first day, and it has been a gauntlet for Senegal. And he said this is going to be a tough game because a lot of our energy was spent in the semifinal game against Rwanda. So they were coming off not playing their best basketball. That's what he said. And he also said we could still win, but it's going to be tougher than the first time, and we have to continue to go after them. And the head coach for Hungary, Peter Volji, says we want to repay the favor to Senegal because they beat us in the first game. But it's going to be a tough battle. Interestingly enough, if you take away these two head-to-head matchups between Hungary and Senegal, the last time these two countries played against each other around this stage was in the 1975 FIBA Championship for women, and it was a classification game in which Hungary prevailed 78-21. Now we have the series tied at a win apiece. And this one, the all-important one out of the last two visits. We welcome those of you tuning in. Let us know who you're rooting for. Will it be Hungary or will it be Senegal? Thank you for tuning in. We hear you loud and clear over in the live chat on YouTube. 2 hurdles to overcome, and one of these teams will jump over one of them today. A trip to the FIBA Women's World Cup qualifiers is on the line. Hungary will go with their red uniforms, gradient on the sides with white numbers, and Senegal will go with their white jerseys, green, red, and yellow trim with green numbers. There are some matchups we're going to pay attention to, but we'll get to that after the tip-off. Fatou Diong will jump it up for Senegal. And for Hungary, Bernadette Hutar will have the honors in the jump ball. The top 2 teams in Group C playing for a trip to the qualifiers, and we are underway with Senegal controlling the tip. Sierra Dillard not wasting any time getting the ball. One of the top players to watch prior to this tournament, 7th best scorer and 3rd best assist leader in the pre-qualifiers on the Rwandan Lake side of things. Yassine Diop, one of the leading scorers, 1 to shoot, floater off the mark for Fatou Poy. Hutar gets the first rebound of the game. Hungary #1 in points per game, averaging nearly 82. And in assist with 25.5 per game, and you could add the free throw field goal percentage to that too, averaging 46% a game. First shot from the line is off the mark. Sierra Dillard has become a household name when it comes to FIBA African tournaments, as the first jumper goes down from the left side as Fatou Dieng gets the scoring going. 2-0 early on Senegal. And in the backcourt, we're going to be watching out for Dioma Khan and Reka Lelik. A key matchup as Deborah Dubai gets it to Studer outside. And she misses as that goes too strong. Shot outside, picked up by Poi. Poi averages nearly 4 rebounds here in the pre-qualifiers as Sierra Dillard trying to go for the pass, retained by Khan as she goes to the rim and misses. Hatar on the board. And Agnes Studer finishes the job, and we are tied up at 2. Senegal with the ball, 25th in the FIBA World Rankings, 3rd in the Power Rankings in the pre-qualifiers. They ended up with a 3-0 record, first place in Group C, and defeated Rwanda in a game worth remembering, 68-65. De Jong swings it underneath, and it goes down for Khan. Khan, the 4th best scorer in the tournament, nearly 17 points and 7 rebounds a game. Here's Reka Lelik. Her matchup with Dioma Khan is a key matchup. Hatar spots up and gets it. We are tied at 4. 3 minutes have gone by here in the first period. Dillard sends it to Poi. Up top to Khan. Diop in trouble, bailed out by De Jong. 2 on the clock. Dillard heaves it away and hits. Senegal likes to share the ball, ranked number 3 in assists per game with 17.5. Studer back to Hatar. No. And remember, Senegal's the best team when it comes to the boards. They have been the bully of the boards, averaging 51.5 a game. They've already picked up 3 within the first 4 minutes of action as Fatou Poi is stopped by the double team and she stepped on the line. Nice double team from Hatar and Studer. Here's Agnes Torek, right back to Studer. Loose ball on the floor, picked up by Torek. Torek into the lane, flustered by Dillard, but is able to get the banker. These two evenly matched. They have not met since the first day of group competition back on the 19th. Since then, a lot of things have changed. You don't want to take the first game for granted as the layup goes down for Dioma Khan. She's able to pick up 4 quick points here in the opening quarter. The first game, everybody is tight. They're trying to establish the tempo. But Hungary has been able to burst through and drive by their opponents since then, taking care of Philippines, Brazil, and Great Britain en route to their appearance in the World Cup pre-qualifying final. Here's Diop for 3. Back to Lelik. Lelik going by Khan. So we get a foul as there was a collision with Lelik and Dillard. Dillard assessed with the foul. Senegal making their first changes in the final, with Dillard picking up her first personal. Reka Dumbai checking in along with another player we have to keep in mind, Virag Kish, who gave the ball right away to Torek, going into the lane, and Dillard had a hand on it. It was a breakaway, but Senegal loses control. That is Dioma Khan unable to keep it into play. Plenty of you were able to tune in to history yesterday with more than 60,000 viewers watching the semifinal between Senegal and Rwanda. Let's see if we can keep that up and beat that number of 60,000 views. Nice fake as Kish gets it down. We are tied at 8. It's been a back and forth affair. 60,000 viewers. Imagine that. And again, hats off to Rwanda, their first event in a grand stage, and they were able to represent their country very well. Veronika Kenyashi checking in for Hungary. 10th in assists per game with 3.5 as Dillard puts one up, and she's going right to the free throw line. As I mentioned after tip-off, Dillard has been making a name of herself in FIBA Africa. Played in last year's African Women's Basketball League and won the championship with the Alexandria Sporting Club while averaging 13 points and 7 assists. In the Afro-Basket tournament, she averaged 20.7 points, and in the Olympic qualifying tournament, in which Senegal went 0-3, she averaged 10.3 points and 5 rebounds out of those 3 matches. And she has been the guiding light for Senegal, no doubt about it. As the second free throw rattles in and out, it's picked down by Dobai. Here's the pass again to Dobai. Shot clock reaching 8. Into Kish, last touched by Senegal, my mistake. And you have to pay attention to Senegal. Even when Hungary moves the ball around, so do they. As Majidjan Sin stops that pass. And the front court battle, it's going to be a 2-on-2 kind of thing. Fatou Diong and Majidjan Singh going up against Virag Kish and Bernadette Hattar. That's going to be the key front court matchup. 5 seconds on the 24, under 4 to go here in the opening quarter. We are tied at 8. And this has to be a great indication considering these two teams were at the top of Group C. So out of bounds is called. And Sierra Dillard in the backcourt, and she is guarded by Lily. Dillard near side and feeds it to Sin. Sin, 3 to shoot. Moves onto the left side, stopped in her tracks, has to fade it away, but doesn't get it off in time. Two team fouls for Hungary, 1 for Senegal. As Kenyashi trying to break away off of the right side and passes it to Lelik. Lelik, who averages 12.3 points per game at the near side, 7 to shoot. Kenyashi moves, kicks it out to Dubai for 3. Got it. Dubai picking up where she left off for the last couple of games as she makes it 11-8 Hungary, their first lead in the game. Another chance for Yacine Diop. And down the floor is Kenyashi, who could not finish. Baseball pass from Cielo Dillard to Yacine Diop. Nice fast break opportunity set up by Dillard, the third best assist leader in the pre-qualifiers with 5.8 a game, and she just added one to this one. "23,000 people watching the pre-qualifying final here in Rwanda. We thank each and every one of you for tuning in worldwide on the FIBA YouTube channel. Reka Dobai checking in as Studer gets the pass. Studer has not had a good scoring performance in the pre-qualifiers, only shooting 26%. Kenyashi, they go deep to Kish, but Dillard is there to take it away. Dillard, no looker. Layup missed, but the putback is down by Sin. And you have to watch out for Senegal. They could really speed things up if you're not careful. They were able to take advantage of a situation down on the other end. Senegal leads 12-11 as you're watching the Rwandan leg of the FIBA Women's World Cup pre-qualifiers. Two lead changes so far in this game, and it's Senegal with the slimmest of all possible leads, 1 point, as we are under 2 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Both of these teams shooting around 50%. Hungary 50, Senegal 54.6. And Hungary has the narrowest advantage when it comes to the board, 6-5. They work it underneath the Kish, the center. Kish on the mismatch and gets the jump hook. Virag Kish, number 9 in points per game with 13 and 6th when it comes to shooting, 59.4%. She ended up with 17 points in the semifinal tilt with Great Britain. Senegal works it underneath once again. It's Majidjan Sen in trouble. Sends it back to Mathilde Diop. Spot up Jay off the mark, picked up by Studer. And it's Studer ahead of the pack, going for the fake, and finds Dubai for three. No good, but she follows up with her own rebound and misses the banker. Mathilde Diop was there for the board. 47 seconds to go. Shot is up and out. Another chance for Senegal. Quick feed, Sin. Had it slip past her fingertips as Kenyashi brings it up the floor. Kenyashi has that taken away. Hungary 13, Senegal 12. 2-second difference, shot clock, game clock. Dillard with a nice screen from Sin, trying to retreat to the right side. Swings it right back to the top. Dioma Khan down to 5. Khan up, out. Offensive foul. And Otis Hughley Jr., the head coach for Senegal, not happy with that call as we approach the final 3.6 seconds in the first. Hungary will look for one final shot as Dioma Khan is called for the foul, and Studer took all of it. Kenyashi looking, have to get it over Mathilde Diop. She does as Doboy has it, gets to the half court, sends it up, and it's an air ball to end the first quarter. But nonetheless, Hungary leads 13-12 at the end of one. From Rwanda, this is the FIBA Women's World Cup pre-qualifying tournament.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are all on the same team.
We have the power to change lives through basketball.
Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin,
basketball
can bring everyone together.
Basketball for good.
Dioma Khan for Senegal and Virag Kish for Hungary have 4 points apiece. They lead scoring as we are about to start the second quarter here in the final game of the Rwandan leg of the FIBA Women's World Cup pre-qualifiers. Aaron Sanders on the call, and thank you for tuning in. I also want to take a moment to send my best wishes to Justin Taylor. He was supposed to call the game with me today, but unfortunately got the case of sore throat. So JT, if you're watching, I hope you're able to rest up and heal up that voice. He is one of the best at what he does here for FIBA, one of the best FIBA commentators that we've had, and I have the privilege to work with in the last few tournaments here this summer. So I hope you're able to rest up and get well soon. Second quarter, we go as Agnes Studer drives right into the lane and kicks it right out. That three ball is short. And Hungary able to pick up a rebound, and it's off the mark by Dobai. So nice follow-up from Dobai and the challenge from Khan. So Dobai at the line where she shoots 50%. And the first free throw dances and bounces off. Dobai ended up with 5 points, 3 assists, and a rebound yesterday against Great Britain. And she adds one more, and it is now 14-12. Dillard, Indai, Khan, Diop, and Sarr, the 5 for Senegal. Diop, strong game for her, and she throws that one away. This is a breakaway for Lelik, and she slows it down. And Dobai gets it 2 passes later, circles around the perimeter, and here's Agnes Studer. Dribble drive, right side, spot up shot, no good. Picked up by Kish, missed by Kish. She's going to go for another chance. Nope, kicks it out instead to Lelik. Down to 6, 3 ball, nope. It was up in the air, but Kadiatu Sarr able to pick it up. Sarr, one of the 4 centers in the roster for Senegal. Dillard with the spin move, the no-look pass. Will it be finished? It is. Kariatu Sar with the nifty dish from Sierra Dillard. We are squared at 14. 50% Senegal, 32% Hungary. Lelik had some room, feeds it to Kish. Sealed with the Kish as she regains possession and the lead for Hungary. Eight-10 second quarter. Yassine Diop gives it right away to Sar. Sar hands it off. Long shot, yes. Nene Indai makes it 17-16. Senegal with their first lead in a few minutes. And Senegal shoots 39% from the field, second best here in the Rwandan leg of the pre-qualifiers. Dubai in trouble. Sends it out to Lelik for three. Too strong. And there is a foul underneath on the box out between Kish and Diop. So 7:35 remaining until halftime. Now see Senegal shooting 53% and Hungary has dropped to 33%. Senegal, scoop shot, Khan. And Dioma Khan, who averages 16 points per game, able to pick up another bucket as she now has 6 points. Leading all scorers. Ball goes back to Torek. Torek far side, 5 seconds to shoot. Gets it out to Onyol. Onyol to Torek, who gets it down. Right as the shot clock was about to expire, Agnes Torek gets it from downtown. Both of these teams evenly matched, and it's well indicated in the first 13 and a half minutes of action. And we'll see how much energy Senegal has after that huge game against Rwanda in the semis yesterday, for which they won 68-65. Again, Coach Hughley Jr. said this was going to be a tough game because all of our energy was spent yesterday. Nice pickoff as Yassine Diop rushes the floor. 3-on-2, gets the ball back after a slick pickoff. And picking it up on the other end is Reka Lelik, who finds an open player. That time it was Barbara Onyol. Onyol, of course, making it count. She ended up with 4 points and 1 assist. She picked up her first bucket of the game. Senegal's last appearance in the World Cup was 6 years ago, where they placed 12th. That's tied for their best finish in team history, along with their appearance in 1979. They've made 8 appearances in the World Cup. They hope to make it 9 with a win here, and if they're able to fare well in the World Cup qualifiers in 2026. Kariatu Sar at the line. She ended up with 5 points and 4 rebounds yesterday. She averages 6.5 a game. Good as gold on the first free throw as we see Mathilde Diop checking in for Dioma Khan. Second free throw off. And Hungary not wasting any time boxing out and racing to the other end. Reka Lelik, who has stood out here in this tournament. 6th in assists with 5.5 per game. Here she is with the ball. She drives all the way to the hole. Right on cue, Lelik makes it 23-20. Hungary with the advantage. Lelik with her first bucket. here in the final. And that ball was picked up right away by Hattar. She just reached up and got it. It's out to Dubai. And she can't make it rain from the corner. Up is Madi Fall. Fall on the pass. Reverse layup, no good for Sar. For Diop, I should say. Hungary led by Onyol up the floor. Gets to the corner. Crossover dribble. Lelik to town. Yes, it counts. Rhea Lelik seeping through, and she's going to go to the line for the and one. Lelik 2 for 4 field goal wise. She's been a flawless free throw shooter here in the pre-qualifiers. She ended up playing in the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament, where Hungary was one of the host teams, ended up with a 1-2 record. 8 players from that tournament are on this roster as Lelik completes the three-point play. Lelik in the qualifying tournament in Olympic-wise, 7.3 points and 4 rebounds a game. And remains flawless at the line. Sierra Dillard for Senegal. 2 points, 3 assists to her name. Down to 6. Cutting. Going for the pass. And that will be a foul on the floor with 4:08 left until halftime. As Mathilde Diop takes a hit as she was going to the 10. That foul was on Hattar underneath. Dillard to Niang for 3. High arcing shot doesn't go. And it's out to Studer. Studer. Rapid fire pass underneath the Toruk, who misses. And Sierra Dillard cuts in, try to shoot it over Hattar, and that is a hard task each and every time. 3 from the corner. Off. Fatu Poi on the rebound. And Hungary will be over the limited fouls. Next Hungary foul will put Senegal at the free throw line. They are down by 6 with 3:30 to go. They're shooting 43%. They have the advantage in steals, 5-2. They're looking to get the lead back. Poi blocked by Hattar. Again, Senegal ended up with a record without a blemish in group play, 3-0. Hungary 2-1. Their lone loss was against this very Senegal team in first day of action. Underneath is Niang, who's unable to hit it. Hattar back up top to Studer, and Hattar goes to town, spins around, whistle on the play. Now Hungary will go to the line. Neither team with a foul to give. With 2:57 to go, that sends Bernadette Hattar at the line. And she, too, has been a good free throw shooter as she makes it rain on the first. In the Olympic qualifying tournament, she averaged 12 points, 5 rebounds, and nearly a block per game, which is third out of that leg. And she goes 2 for 2 to make it 28-20. Bernadette Hattar averages nearly 8 points and 5 rebounds here in this pre-qualifying tournament alone. Second best when it comes to shooting. Sierra Dillard having a hard time at the paint. Kenyashi wisely passes it out, and now it's a job for Hattar, who can't get the banker. Dillard up and under, shot no good. And another rebound for Hattar, as she's able to find her 5th rebound. Studer looking for room. Down to 2, wide open shot, and it doesn't go down. Dobai with a second chance for Hungary. It's Agnes Studer running it up top, trying to feed it to Hattar, but slapped away by Dillard, and there she is on the run as she finds Fatu Poi. And Sierra Dillard, with great ball awareness and a high basketball IQ, she's able to send it to Fatu Poi, who is already ahead of the play. Veronico Kanyashi having a hard time trying to swing the ball around. Hattar back to Studer. Studer into Hattar, and she's off to the line again. Let us know who you're going for in this final game of the pre-qualifying tournament. Are you rooting for Senegal or Hungary? Right now, Hungary leads by 6. A minute 25 remaining until halftime. Both of these teams evenly matched when it comes to stats. Hungary number 1 in points. Senegal number 2. The lowest statistic that Hungary has coming into this final game would be the rebounds, where they're 5th with a total of 42 per game. Senegal up top with 51.5. And Bernadette Hattar continues to drill it at the charity stripe as Hungary breaks the 30-point mark. Hattar with 6 points, 4 of those points coming from the line. And Birak Kish leading the scoring with 7. On Senegal's end, they're being led by Dioma Khan, who has 6, 3 of 5 from the field. Dion with a quick pick as Mathilde Diop slashes to the lane. And Senegal will have their chance to shoot a pair of free throws. That foul was on Dubai. Second free throw off the mark. And Rika Dobai gets sent to the floor off of the box out. She was able to secure the ball, but was put down. With a minute and 8 to go until halftime, we are already at 35,000 people tuning in for the World Cup pre-qualifying final from the Kigali Arena in Rwanda. As Rika Dobai hits the first, but misses the second as it's pulled down by Fatou Diane. Dillard able to get by Dobai. Slashes to the lane. And Yassine Diop was fouled on the way. Diop getting her first free throw. She was also part of the Alexandria Sporting Club team that ended up winning the African Women's Basketball League last year. She averaged 5.1 points in that tournament, but averaged nearly 20 in the Women's Olympic qualifying tournament. As she hits the second, And we have a timeout called by Senegal with 56 and 4/10 seconds to go in the half. Hungary leading by 7 with under a minute to go in the half. The largest lead they have had was 9. There have been 5 lead changes into this game. We had an eventful first quarter. Both of these teams exchanging buckets. And these two teams are currently shooting in the high 30s. Lelik is able to pick up a couple of points here in the second quarter. She slashes to the lane and goes right outside. That long shot doesn't go, and it's followed up by Dobai. And she stepped on the line. Her momentum took her out of bounds as she was going for the second chance. Dillard with the ball along with 4 assists and 2 points to her name. .3 seconds. Senegal with a total of 15 rebounds. Hungary with 24, a +9. And most of those rebounds have come from the duo of Dobai and Hatar. Dobai with 6, Hatar 5. Total of 11. And the free throws make it 31-26. Before this tournament, these two teams only met in the classification game back in 1975. This is their third head-to-head meeting, series tied at 1, but this one matters the most. Cross-court pass to Dubé. Dubé underneath, beautiful over-the-shoulder pass as she finds Kish. And you could give that play a chef's kiss. Final seconds. Are they able to get a shot off? No, they won't. So Hungary takes a 7-point lead into their clubhouse after 20 minutes of basketball. They are being led by Virag Kish, who has 9 points and 4 rebounds, and Senegal being led by Dioma Khan, who has 6 points and 3 rebounds. 33-26 is your score. I'm Aaron Sanders. I'll be back for the call for the second half in less than 15 minutes. You're watching the final game of the Rwandan leg of the FIBA Women's World Cup pre-qualifiers.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are all on the same team.
We have the power to change lives through basketball.
Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin,
basketball
can bring everyone together.
Basketball for good.
gender, color, belief, or capability. We are all on the same team.
We have the power to change lives through basketball.
Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin,
basketball
can bring everyone together.
Basketball for good.
We are back at Kigali Arena in Rwanda for the final game of the FIBA Women's World Cup pre-qualifiers in a game where we're seeing the best two teams of the pre-qualifiers have at it in this, a revenge game, a rematch from the first day of group play. Senegal and Hungary, and right now Hungary leads 33-26 as we march right along into the third quarter. I'm Aaron Sanders, glad to be on the call for this final game. The winner of this one will punch their ticket to the World Cup qualifier in March of 2026. Senegal, one of the best teams when it comes to shooting at 39% a game. Shooting nearly their average at 38.4 within the first 20 minutes. As Hungary has been a handful for them as they were able to utilize their bigs, especially Bernadette Hattar, who had 6 points and 5 rebounds at the end of the first half. But the leading scorer is Virag Kish with 9 points and 4 rebounds. Senegal was led by Sierra Dillard with her nifty assist, and along with Dioma Khan, who had 6 points. 2 to shoot on the 24 as Lelik misses it from downtown. Rebound attempted by De Jong, and it will stay with Hungary. As a look at Bernadette Hattar, who ended up with 8 points and 6 rebounds in the semifinal win against Great Britain. Coach Otis Hughley Jr. of Senegal wondering what they need to do, because this has been a mismatch for them since the opening tip. And with Hatar and Virag Kish stepping up for Hungary, it has caused some worries. Remember, Senegal defeated them 63-61 on Monday. 3-ball at the shot clock horn, doesn't fall. Up the floor is Sierra Dillard, who has been a catalyst for Senegal the entire tournament. Dribble drive left side, back to Dillard at the elbow. Swings it right out to Dioma Khan, who steps right in and gets the banker. Dioma Khan with her 8th point in this final. 33-28. Quick pass underneath the Torek, and that doesn't go. Dillard with a little in and out dribble as she hits the deck alongside Agnes Tora. And Sierra Dillard, 9 times out of 10, will bring the ball up court and look for an extra pass, whether at the corner or at the elbow. She rarely sends it right up to the paint, because that's where most teams expect the ball to go. Especially in the transition game that Senegal has, it's a smart idea to go out to the corner. There's a shot, and the foul is called, which will send Khan to the free throw line. Dioma Khan has had a good outing here in this pre-qualifying tournament. 16.3 points per game. That's 4th best, and ranked 10th in rebounds per game with nearly 7, and is a 62% free throw shooter. 8 points, 4 rebounds for her here in the final. And she adds 1 more to her name. And this crowd at Kilgaley Arena has been one of the best that FIBA has seen this season, as Khan goes 2 for 2 to make it 33-30. Even when Rwanda nor Senegal played, they have been able to show a great atmosphere and a great vibe throughout the entire tournament. Down to 3, Torek sends it away to Studer, and it goes off the top. Yassine Diop with the rebound, as Diop picks up her first board of the game. 2 minutes gone by here in quarter number 3. Wide alone is Fatou Boy, who can't drill the 3. And here's Rika Lelik, one of the main players for Hungary in this game. 5 points and 4 assists. She gives it out to Torek, who cuts right to the left side and misses. Hatar follows up with a second chance. Studer. And ball taken away from Dioma Khan. Torek tried to save it from going out of bounds, but nobody was ready. Dillard to the corner, gets the screen from Dion. Dillard from long range, no. And back with it is Hatar for Hungary. Remember, Hungary came into this tournament ranked number 1 in the power rankings, 16th in the FIBA World Rankings. And Senegal placed number 3 in the power rankings, 25th in the FIBA World. Wide open look for 3, yes. And that has been Hungary's game, being able to spread the floor to get those extra passes, and it's now 36-30. That was Agnes Studer, who was able to get a lot of room to get that down. Studer with her 5th point, her first 3-ball. Khan inside for 2. And Dioma Khan continues to have an impressive game underneath as she picks up her 10th. Here's Hatar from the key, and she gets it. No match for Hatar as she's able to drill it to make it a 6-point game again. Under 6 minutes to go here in the 3rd. Dillard taking her time. Khan off the screen and sends it to De Jong off the pick and roll, and she can't get it. And Hungary has been out rebounding Senegal in a big way. It is 28-18. And Hungary has that advantage, despite being the 5th best team in the tournament. Shot off the mark. Back comes Dillard. Heads to the corner. Blows by Lelik. And is in trouble. She is met by Dubé. And she gives it up to Kahn for 3. Nothing there. Followed up by Poi. Poi from the corner. 2 chances and nothing for Senegal on that trip. And Lelik gets it back. A trip to the World Cup qualifiers is on the line here in Rwanda. Quick pass to Attar as she banks it in to make it 40-32. Bernadette Attar now with her 10th point. She is 2 rebounds away from a double-double. And this is a player that usually averages 8 points and 5 rebounds a game. She is above that. Dillard into the key, no into the paint with 4 to shoot, and she banks it off the glass and can't get it in. Attar, and 2 passes later, Hungary already at the other end of the floor. Corner 3, put her there. And Hungary hungry for redemption as they now lead 43-32. We have a timeout called by Senegal as we approach the 4-minute mark here in quarter number 3. Agnes Torres was the one who made the 3 prior to the Senegal timeout, and that brings her up to 8 points, her second 3 of the game, along with 4 boards and 2 assists. Hungary shooting 38% from the field, 31 rebounds and 15 assists, compared to Senegal, 20 rebounds and 8 assists. And Senegal has been quiet in the 3rd quarter. Senegal now has Sen, Indai, in for Dagne and Poi. Kenyashi and Kish in for Hungary. And Dubé sends it right away. In day 1, Hungary was stunned by Senegal 63-61. Pass underneath the Kish will send her to the line. 63-61 was the final score. Senegal up top in the first game. But so far, it has been Hungary setting the tempo with their extra passes and sending it down to the bigs. Senegal has not been a good match for them at the basket, but they have the fast break game and the pace to lead them. Kish gets the first, a 64% free throw shooter in the pre-qualifiers. 9th in scoring with 13 points a game as she drills both of them to make it 45-32. 3:34 to go, more changes made. As Rika Dubai checks in for Hungary. And getting the pass is the Omakan. Leading scoring for Senegal with 10. Crossover. Gaya underneath. So Gaya feeding it into Sin as we have a foul. Sarah Dillard and company looking for a comeback. Hungary looking for redemption after losing the first game of their group play. Top two teams from Group C as Dillard steps into the three and can't drill it. And Yassim Diop able to pick it up. Goes coast to coast. Swings it out to Khan. Khan in deep. Goes for the finger roll and gets it up and in. And Senegal was looking for a field goal. They have not made a field goal since the 6:24 mark when Dioma Khan made a layup. And they were able to break that scoring spell right now. They are still down by 11. As Majidjan Sin picks up the foul. Reka Dobai will toss it in for Hungary, but not before some changes. Batu Poi checking in for Yassine Diop for Senegal, and Agnes Torak is in for Deborah Dubé. Lely. And they continue to swing it out to the corner. Torak in trouble. Was looking to pass it. And it's a shot clock violation as Senegal was able to close down on the near end of the floor. And Dioma Khan just threw it in. Right into Gaya. Sin, the intended passer. And that's a turnover for Senegal. Senegal trying to play with speed, but as coach Otis Hughley Jr. said in the press conference yesterday, a lot of their power and energy was spent going toe-to-toe with Rwanda yesterday for a chance to be in the final. One of their closest games in the pre-qualifiers, winning by a score of 68-65. Hungary has single-handedly took care of business after losing to Senegal in the opener. As Reka Dobai gets into the lane. Hungary has won by between 20 or 30 points since losing on Monday. It has been a marathon for both of these teams, but here they are in the final. 3-ball way off as it gives the ball back to Hungary. These two teams have made the World Cup a handful of times. Hungary has made it 5 times, but it's been 26 years since their last trip to the World Cup, and that's when they placed 10th. You would have to go back to 1957, where they're able to place their best finish, and that was 5th place. For Senegal, their best finish was 12th, and they were able to accomplish that on their last trip to the World Cup 6 years ago and back in 1979. The winner of this will play the qualifiers in March 2026. Great ball movement from Hungary throughout this game as the ball goes the other way. And that's an offensive foul which puts Hungary over the limit. Approaching 37,000 people tuning into this live on the FIBA YouTube channel, and we hope to continue that, and let's break the record as a pass to Poi as she sends it to Khan. Khan gets close and can't hit it. Approaching 30 seconds in the third. Kenyashi stepping in, kicks it out. Kenyashi at the other end of the floor. 8 to shoot, drives right in, gets the step and puts it in. Kenyashi. Yes, she can, as she gets through everybody for that wonderful layup. And Hungary's lead is now 15. Final possession, Senegal with 5 to shoot. Khan to Dillard. Dillard, she makes a wish. And that will do it. At the end of 3 quarters, Hungary leads and this is a quarter that will decide who will punch their ticket to the World Cup qualifiers in March of 2026. Hungary leading 49-34 as the 4th quarter is underway. We had over 60,000 live viewers yesterday when Senegal took on Rwanda. Let's see if we could surpass that in the final 10 minutes of action. Kenyashi. Chest pass, and she gets it back. Dribbles through Sin. Now to 5. Studer into the lane. Can't get it. And here comes Yassine Diop. We haven't seen a lot of action from her today. Only 4 points and 2 assists for Diop after having a 15-point outing yesterday. Sabugeya getting more minutes on the floor as she is this 5 with Dillard, Khan, Diop, and Sin. Senegal must utilize their bigs in order to match up with players like Bernadette Hattar. And Majijin Sin could be one of those players, but she misses the shot. Kenyashi drills it. Veronico Kenyashi, who averages 5.5 points per game, able to get another triple off to give Hungary an 18-point lead. And that bad pass taken away, and here comes Agnes Studer for Hungary. Gets it underneath the Virag Kish, who's going to go to the line. Hungary has been clicking on all cylinders since the 2nd quarter. In the first half, it was Senegal taking care of business in the fast break game, and now Hungary returning the favor. They are doing that in more ways than one. Remember, they were upsetted by Senegal by 2 on the 19th. They're definitely playing with a vengeance as they were able to breeze through their opponents since that heartbreaking loss. 97-60 against the Philippines, winning 87-66 against Brazil. Then in the semifinals, they won 82-59 against Great Britain, and they're inching closer and closer to their first World Cup appearance since 1998. But first they have to win this game, along with possibly getting through the qualifiers in 2 years. That's what's at stake for the winner of this game. Fatu Poi at the far side. Picks it up from the wing. Dribbles, slashes right into the lane and misses. It's ahead to Dobai. Dobai underneath the Kish. An easy look as Dobai will be pinned with the assist. And Vireg Kish picks up her 15th point of the game, along with 4 rebounds, 5 of 6 from the field. An outstanding performance from her today. She ended up with 17 points in the semifinals. She's close to that. We played 2 minutes here in the fourth quarter. A foul committed on Agnes Studer. Dillard will inbound. Studer picked up her 4th personal. One more and she is out. Sin with the easy dish and the easy deuce. So it's a 20-point game as Senegal beginning to find answers at the rack. Rika Dobai as Kish is underneath as she's trying to set a screen. A little too late on that with 5 to shoot. Dobai in trouble, swings it out. Here's Toruk. Toruk spinning into the lane. It's a shot clock violation. Shot clock violation sends the ball back to Senegal. Agnes Toruk with the turnover. She has 8 points and 4 rebounds for the day. Sierra Dillard hoping that she could spur this Senegal team on to a comeback. They are down by 20. Dribble drive, Poi. Stopped in her tracks, met by the double team. Now she's in real trouble. Dillard able to save her up top. 3 to shoot. Dribbles, gets close, goes for the pass. The sling, no good. Poi, the rebound. Can't get the putback. 3rd chance coming up. Count it. Continuation on the play as Fatu Poi will go for the end one. Oh, my mistake is Majijin Sin. Nonetheless, one of the hardest battles underneath the basket today. And Majijin Sin able to prevail, knocking down that free throw. Deficit now 17 for Senegal as we approach the 6:40 mark here in quarter number 4. Toruk misses. Shot clock does not reset. It did not hit the rim. A fling hits the back of the iron. And here's Dioma Khan rushing to the lane and missing. And that's what Senegal was good at in the first 20 minutes of action, picking the ball up and going for the transition. But they weren't able to convert on this trip. Barbara Onyol swinging out to the wing, now cutting right in again. 1 on the clock, flinged up, no good by Onyol. And up the floor now is Dillard. Dillard getting a screen from Sin. Quick dribble drive. That pass was intended for Dillard, but she had her back turned. Lily with a crossover. Scored most of her points in the first half. It's underneath the Kish, who drives by and gets it down. Vireg Kish. Another phenomenal outing for her here in this pre-qualifiers as she's able to pick up Another bucket, a mismatch. It's safe to say that Senegal and Rwanda has a rowdy fan base, and it has spurred them on throughout the entirety of this pre-qualifying tournament for the Women's World Cup. And despite the deficit, it is still a good thing to see and hear. And maybe some of that will radiate off the Senegal team to help chip away at this lead with about 5:15 to go in regulation. They have had a hard time at the basket, and they've had some turnovers which burned them since the start of the second half. Loose ball on the floor. Tie-up called before the horn. And it will be Hungary ball. As it was a 24-second violation in the hands of Senegal. 58-39. Hungary has been able to spread the floor offensively and become a problem defensively for Senegal. Kenyashi and Deborah Dubé in for Hungary. They came right back to the game following the timeout. One dribble. Lelik keeps the ball with 3 to shoot. Lelik straight away to Kish. Kish behind the back, stripped by Dillard. And here's Dioma Khan for 2. So Dioma Khan immediately streaking to the right side to get enough separation to make it 58-41. Dioma Khan ended up with 6 points at the end of the first half, and now she has 16. Dillard with the spin and the deuce. A bucket from the corner. As it was easy work for Sierra Dillard. Picking up her 6th point. She also has 6 assists here in this final. Lelik spins in deep to Kish. Kish puts it up, that's off. Back to Majidjian Sin as she follows up on the rebound and sends it straight away to Dioma Khan. She's had a good night. You might as well give it to her and hope that she's able to go right to the bucket. Instead, it's outside. The 3, no. Lelik with another rebound. Dubé, Kenyashi, it's good! Veronica Kenyashi continuing to pile up the 3s for Hungary. Lead back up to 18. That was Hungary's 6th 3 out of a possible 22. Senegal has only made 1 triple tonight. And a shot is blocked, and back comes the other way. Lelik, oh, look out! My gracious. You understand Hungary's playing with a vengeance, but Senegal trying to respond back aggressively with Dioma Khan meeting at the other end. Dioma Khan pinned with the big time block. It is a block party along with the chips and dips, folks. The J goes down, and that was right in between the eyes of Fatou Dieng. Veronico Kenyashi heating up here in the final 2:30 in the fourth quarter. Indai sends it to Khan. Khan goes straight away, met by the double team, right at the line. Pass right back out to Yacine Diop. Diop down the two, flings it away, off the banker and out. Kenyashi with the ball again. And Lelik setting up a play as she gets it back from Dubé. Kenyashi. And it's into Bernadette Bitar, who's been a problem for Senegal as it's taken right away from Dioma Khan. Khan to fall. Khan. And it's been easy buckets for Senegal as we approach the under 2-minute mark. Substitutions being made. And Hungary is approaching victory and overcoming a hurdle to become one step closer to the World Cup. It's been an outstanding game as we see Belinda Mikolos checking in for Reka Lelik, who ended up with another stellar performance. Lelik ending up with 5 points and 5 rebounds. A lot of people will say, well, that's kind of low, but she's been good efficiency-wise. As we approach the final 60 seconds here in the pre-qualifiers in Rwanda. Pass taken away by Kenyashi, a no-look pass. Mikolos passes it. Dubé loses control. And here comes Zabugeo. As we'll stay with Senegal, 39 and 5/10 seconds to go. It was a back and forth game at the first quarter, but it's been all Hungary since. Take a moment to thank the many people behind the scenes at FIBA, and I will do that at the end of the game as well. First, it starts off with Nicolas Chapart, along with the amazing crew that helps get our voices on the air. For all of you fans around the world, we hope we've been able to provide you with a great insight and a great experience when it comes to this pre-qualifying tournament. So thank you to FIBA, the fans, you of course, the folks behind the scenes, to Coco, to everybody else. It's been an honor and a privilege. As we approach 33,000 live views in the final moments. Reverse layup underneath, a no-go for Kadiatu Sarr. Two of the top teams in Group C playing in the final game, and rightfully so. Shot underneath for Fraka Touk doesn't go. And Senegal up the floor for what could be their final shot as Mathilde Diop sends it underneath the Sarr, who puts it up and in. 7.5 seconds to go. And they came into this final with retribution on their mind, and they got it. Hungary takes the pre-qualifiers and are now one step closer to the FIBA Women's World Cup. Redemption fulfilled as Hungary takes the final game by 16. And they were led the whole way by Virag Kish, 17 points, 4 rebounds. Helping her along the way, another big for Hungary, which was huge in this tournament. Bernadette Hattar, 1 rebound shy of a double-double, 10 points, 9 rebounds. Hungary came up with a total of 43 boards. Senegal 31, and they were led the whole way by Dioma Khan, who had 18 points and 6 rebounds. It was a dominating effort by the team which was originally ranked number 1 in the power rankings heading into this pre-qualifying tournament, and they made good of those power rankings here today. They finished off group play with a 2-1 record, but since that loss against Senegal on the first day of group action, they were able to bulldoze through their competition, defeating the Philippines by 37, beating Brazil by 21, and taking care of business against Great Britain 82-59. And now they took care of business against Senegal to be 1 step away from the Women's World Cup in Germany 2 years from now. We have the All-Star 5 for you before we sign off, and here are the All-Star 5. Holly Winterburn of Great Britain, Bella Morekatet from Rwanda, Dioma Khan from Senegal, and the 2 players to round out the All-Star 5 from the victorious Hungary team, Reka Lelik and Virag Kish. So the All-Star 5, I guess you could say, has been sealed with a Kish. And the MVP for the FIBA Women's World Cup pre-qualifiers on the Rwanda side, it's going to go to Reka Lelik. And there's no arguments with that. Lelik stood out prior to this final game. She averaged 12.3 points, along with being the 6th best assist player with 5.5 per game. So again, your All-Star 5, Holly Winterburn of Great Britain, Bella Morekatet of Rwanda. From Senegal, it's Dioma Khan. And you have Reka Lelik and Virag Kish, the All-Star 5. And Reka Lelik getting MVP honors in the Rwandan leg. Again, a quick moment to thank those behind the scenes who help get us on the air and provide you with all these broadcasts on the FIBA YouTube channel. Take a bow to each and every one of you from FIBA, led by Nicolas Chaper. We thank you so much for your patience in helping us throughout the entire tournament. It is always a thrill to be behind the mic for a FIBA tournament, and this one was special. Again, your final. In the final game of the FIBA Women's World Cup pre-qualifiers from Rwanda, Hungary 63, Senegal 47. For the commentators who help give you the action from their point of view, that includes Justin Taylor, for which we wish him all the best and get well soon. With Jacinda Govin, this be Aaron Sanders signing off on what has been a great tournament known as the FIBA Women's World Cup pre-qualifiers from the Kigali Arena in Rwanda. We'll talk again very soon. Keep on watching FIBA on the FIBA YouTube channel, and be sure to follow through by the hashtag FIBAWWC. It has been a great ride, and it's been an interesting experience, and we will not forget it. Thank you again, everybody. We will talk again soon. So long, and stay tuned for the press conference coming up next. Goodbye, everybody.